When Air Force Security Forces members are tasked to deploy downrange to handle the audacious task of defending freedom, there are many moving parts that go in with making that mission happen. Of course, figuring out who goes, what the mission is going to be, and what gear is going to be taken are all things that a squad leader is going to think of. There's still one thing that he's got to handle, and that's figuring out where his warriors are going to go to receive the training that they need to hone in on their skills to complete the mission that they're tasked with. This, my fellow airmen, is where the men and women of the 96th Ground Combat Training Squadron have successfully answered that call. Serving as the place for deploying personnel to receive pre-deployment training, this group, known as Brave Defender, has spent countless hours and days and has provided training for more than 15,000 defenders going downrange since it was first opened in 2004. Providing tip-of-the-spear training for defenders heading downrange to successfully complete that mission was the #1 task of Brave Defender. Today, however, we're here to bid farewell to this group and highlight some of the accomplishments as the unit is shutting down while the mission moves forward to Fort Bliss, Texas at Desert Defender. The first group of instructors that were here, known as Cadre, and for those of you who don't know, Cadre defined is a small group of personnel who specialize in a certain task. And the certain task out here at Brave Defender was providing excellent training for security forces members heading down to the AOR. Initially, there were 10 personnel who were brought here to Brave Defender at Eglin Air Force Base to open the new training site. And while the first few years were a little shaky, they still managed to get the mission done. And the mission that they were tasked with was providing combatant commanders downrange with a highly trained individual who's capable of providing air-based defense inside and outside the wire. That way personnel can come back home safe and planes can get on and off the ground. Of course, in handling a mission, Security Forces members need to learn tasks while they're here at Brave Defender. And Brave Defender offered 24 core tasks, some of them being land navigation, mounted ops, dismounted ops, counter improvised explosive device detection, and as well as K9 training. Brave Defender also offered 2 specialized courses for personnel as well. Flyaway Security Team Training, which is also known as FAST, and Kandahar Airfield Specific JDOC Training, which is for members who are going down to Afghanistan. Of course, while there were always people coming through here and we were instructing them on how they need to operate out in the desert, Brave Defender also selflessly handled themselves by sending out personnel to the AOR that way that we made sure that what we were teaching here at Brave Defender was relevant to what the Security Forces members were doing downrange. As well as Brave Defender also had 2 Bronze Star recipients in the time that it was open. Master Sergeant Robert Shoemake and Staff Sergeant Wayne Levan. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to deploy while I was here at Brave Defender in the 4 years that I was. But when I first came here in 2010, I knew that I made the right decision coming to Brave Defender. Talking to some of my colleagues from the past, the stories that I heard from Brave Defender all came out to be true. And being here only provided myself with the greater aspect of the Security Forces career field and made me as a better Security Forces airman to the Air Force. Some of the projects that I supported here at Brave Defender was opening up Air Force Material Command's very first Flyaway Security Team program that I managed. The personnel that I worked with in that task all contributed to getting the overall mission done. And not only that, but the members that came through from different bases were directly influenced by everybody in this room who had a hand in teaching and enabled them to go downrange and survive on the skills that they learned while here at Brave Defender. Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end in some way, shape, or form. And due to the drawdown in Afghanistan and Iraq, the Air Force has decided to move all pre-deployment training out to Fort Bliss, Texas. But that doesn't mean that the mission is done for some of the airmen, since we're sending 5 cadre from Brave Defender out to Fort Bliss to continue the mission. That just goes to show that what we were doing here at Brave Defender was good enough to where leaders in the Air Force wanted personnel from our schoolhouse to continue the mission. This group of cadre in this room has proven themselves through their effort, and it goes to show when running into Security Forces members down in the AOR and how they talk about how that the skills that they learned while here at Brave Defender only provided them with knowledge that they needed to survive and complete the mission while in the AOR. I'd like everybody in this room to remember that throughout your careers you were an instrumental cog in the war effort, and that you will always share a unique bond with others that were here before you, as well as the ones that are here with you right now in sharpening the warrior's edge. You are the 96th Ground Combat Training Squadron, and more importantly, you will always be Brave Defender.